You said you put the thing out there. I said, look.
Well, put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. All right. So let's get.
He said, "Call me up to
ready.
the big time." But then he did say maybe next time. I don't know. Go ahead, do your opener.
Okay. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Planet Xbox Podcast. Are we on episode 126? Because I definitely put that in there, but I did that like not so sure.
I can double check, but it kind of sounds right. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're good.
I'm
125 was the last one.
Awesome. So, yeah, I don't know who we're going to have in here tonight, but I know.
He said he did respond. He said he'll try to set up. Okay.
All right, cool. Awesome. So, cool. All right. Well, still, with that being said, not sure exactly who's going to be in here tonight, but who we do have is obviously me, Best Bot, Kid Smooth, your host, every week. I already had my meals, so Logan, you ain't got to worry about me chewing on chicken sandwiches or anything like that in the middle of the podcast. So I'm gonna have a clean show.
You did it. You did it right this time. You ate before the podcast, not during it. I got to give you props there. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. And of course, the freaking how can I say this, man? Who's the pretty much the as far as durability, if podcasting gave us like, stamina issues, the most durable, Ole Man Logan, probably should change your name. But
why should I change my name?
Because you ain't old.
Dude, I get older every single day. So I feel like my knees right now, my right knee has been in absolute agonizing pain for the past couple days. I have no idea why. I don't know what I did to it, but it's been terrible. So like I feel my name for like the past couple days, and then I'm gonna be turning I think 33 this year. So
30, baby.
Yeah, I'm getting up there. What do you mean, baby? How old are you? I don't think I ever knew that.
How old are you turning?
I'll be 33 at the end of December.
All right. Well, I'm already 33.
See, like we're right there. What do you mean? Get out of here.
I just want to confirm: is there a live echo? I just want to get if more than one person tells me I have an echo, I have to kind of fix that.
No, you okay? You okay?
I can listen, but let me check.
Yeah, that'll be great. And while he confirms that, I also got we also got a special guest. Been on a panel before, but earlier. It's been a while, so I know you made the rounds. I think when we originally had you here, you were just making a return to the YouTube scene. Now it's been quite a while, and a lot more people are a lot more familiar with you these days. So shout out to Genero MLD. What's up, my man?
Hey, thanks for the invite. It's good to be here. Yeah, I actually, now that I'm thinking about it, been back on Twitter now for almost 2 years now. Actually, I think more than 2 years. It just went by in a flash, but yeah, definitely settled in now. I love it. I always see Twitter as like the new front lines of the console war. That's where all the action is at. But yeah. Thanks for having me on here. Looking forward to the chat.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, there is a tiny echo,
and it's only coming from me, right, Logan?
Yeah, it's only from you.
All right, so
that's why I popped out, because I couldn't hear both Discord and that. So that's why I popped out.
All right, just get it started, Logan. I'm gonna need you to take on the conversation. Let us know what you're playing while I try to fix this echo.
All right. We're doing what do we playing ordeals here? So obviously, if you're excited about it, you probably pre-ordered Modern Warfare 2. And that's what I've been playing, is the campaign. I actually finished up the campaign on veteran mode last night, and my God, I loved the Modern Warfare 2 campaign. It was phenomenal. If you guys I don't know, for me personally, the Modern Warfare campaigns have been always solid across the original trilogy, Modern Warfare 2019, and definitely this year's iteration for sure. Definitely a good comeback from Vanguard from last year, which I hated every single aspect about that campaign. Modern Warfare 2, I I guess I'm just going to talk about it a little bit more here because we're waiting for Smooth to figure
Nah,
out what he's doing.
am I better now? Is there still echo?
You good? I don't know.
For the chat, at least, because I think I changed the source. Is this... I downloaded like Wavelength to try to clean up like some of the audio issues that people would complain about. And I can hear myself in the feedback, which it sounds cleaner, but I would always hear the echo. But before last week, nobody heard the echo, but I heard that echo. So now I'm trying to just freaking like, now I need to get rid of it.
They still saying you still got echo.
All right, so let me.
I hardly noticed it though, but
Well, you won't hear it. It's only the stream that hears it because it's whatever source he's got going.
Okay.
But let me see here. Hey, Smooth. Perry is in Discord if you want to throw him in or give him access to the podcast panel channel. I'll DM real quick here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you did? Okay. I'll say I'll message him. Anyways, so back to Modern Warfare 2, because like one thing I'm super amped for Modern Warfare, like the full-fledged release here. I got 2 days of vacation, and I'm ready to spend like 4 days straight of just no lifing Modern Warfare 2 this weekend. But the campaign, dude, I loved the campaign. Hit every single note that I was looking for. It brought more of the like close quarter combat, intense tight corridor gameplay that we kind of got a little bit of in Modern Warfare 2019, which was nice to see that back in this. And then they had a ton of mission variety. So you got, your classic sniper mission, AC-130. I kind of felt like I was, a kid again playing Modern Warfare 2 from 2009 with Modern Warfare 2 to 2022, I guess, which, hey, I got no complaints there. And like, I liked that they gave the characters a little bit more depth to them, a little bit more of a personality, especially with Ghost. They gave him a lot more screen time because I think he's like the big character for this. And it answered a lot of questions for me of what this, I guess, reboot really was for Call of Duty. Because when Modern Warfare 2019 came out, like it kind of seemed like it was a prequel to the original trilogy, and it's not. It's a full blown reboot with like the same, like you still got the same familiar characters and the same kind of familiar enemies that you would see in like the original Modern Warfare trilogy, but it's like the stories and stuff are being told completely different. So I like that it's got a new spin on it, and I really really enjoyed the Modern Warfare 2 campaign, and I'm super excited for the multiplayer. And I think the only other thing I played since then was I did play through Terminator Salvation on the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, I saw that.
And dude, like I was actually it runs really good on the PS5. Mind you, it's not that taxing of a game. But they added a mode in the PS5 version that I actually really would like a full-fledged game based off of. And it was called the Infiltrator mode, and you got to play as a Terminator, and you basically would go around like this like camp and like take out like these resistant leaders and points and stuff until you got found like the big commander. And I was like, dude, this Infiltrator mode, like I'd like a full entire like Terminator game where you are the Terminator, and that's like your point. Like I'd like to see the you play as the bad guy's side of it versus the good guy's side. But yeah, that's been the only 2 things I've played. And then I think next week I'll finally get around to getting back to Plague's Tale and beating that.
Yeah. So, do I sound better? I tried to I don't know if it's still there. Chat, please help me out. I no longer hear myself, but I'm not sure how that impacts the channel from a podcast perspective. But shout out to Jack, Move Johnny, CM, Muck 45, Blaze 4K, Salty is Gaming. Let's get it. General MLD. Oh wait, before I do that, Troy Perry Gamer, man, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Smooth. Thank you very much for having me. I'm not sure if I'm clear on your end. It's been a while since I've busted out the Blue Yeti microphone, so.
Hey, Blue Yeti's fine with me. I like the accent. It helps spices things up, man.
Yeah, I mean, I got a Blue Yeti too, so we're good.
Yeah, good old lunchtime here in Australia. So.
Oh,
Yep, it's very hot.
wait, lunchtime.
He's in
12
Australia.
PM here.
Jeez.
Yep, I'm Australian.
Wow, I did not know that. I did not know that, dude. No, man. Wow. Wow. That's good, man. Getting love from what is that considered? Is it considered a down under? Right? Since it's
Yeah, down under, and usually get everything like I guess 12 hours early compared to you guys. So
oh, okay. So that's where I need to be setting my Xbox to. That or New Zealand.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, no,
Exactly,
dude. If you, yeah, like I always travel. I travel New Zealand to play a Plague's Tale early. But Smooth. You know how you always say, if you're from around the globe.
Oh
yeah, right here is your around the globe guy.
That is true. Yeah, good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe.
Exactly. See?
Wow,
right
that's an opportunity to say that. Oh shit, that works. Man, General MOD, man, what you been playing?
Oh wow, it's actually been a busy month. I started off the month by playing Deathloop. Finally got around to beating that, and I gotta say, for Arcane, these guys do not miss. Deathloop was pretty fun. I found the gunplay was pretty good. The magic powers, I think Dishonored is better in that regard. But overall, I really like the whole premise of the perfect, kind of like the Groundhog Day kind of premise. I did like that. Otherwise, doing like October themed games, playing like Metal Hellsinger and Proteus on Game Pass. I think Proteus is one of my favorite surprise games I've played in a long time because it's very much reminds me of Doom 1993. But it just takes everything up a notch, like the gore, like the weight of the feel of all the guns. It's just pure old school FPS. I really recommend that to everyone who has a passing interest in that. Let's see, I played BioShock Remaster and Resident Evil Revelations 2. Just knocked a couple of games off my backlog there because I'm kind of just really anticipating Resident Evil 4. Trying to just play some Resident Evil games that I haven't quite played yet. But as of right now, I'm almost done Scorn. Plague Tale 2, I'm still on that, and Persona 5, which I've just barely scratched the surface of that one. That one, I'd be lucky to beat that game by the end of the year, based on other games that are coming out. But overall, yeah, it's a busy time, especially as a Game Pass subscriber. Let's see, Scorn, I actually don't mind it. If you don't mind that slow-paced, atmospheric kind of game, it is what it is. It's a lower budget indie kind of game, but I actually enjoy it though. Plague Tale 2 is a gorgeous game, and it's a great Game Pass get. I'm really, I know Game Pass got the first one, but they got the sequel, and it seems to be better in almost every way. So, like, good on Xbox for giving us that. And I'm just, you see the news on Twitter where Persona is actually gaining like a lot of interest and being played by Xbox gamers, and that's just really that's really good to see because myself included, it's my first Persona game, and like I'm a fan. So far, so good. I love turn-based strategy games. The premise and story is so weird and cool at the same time. Yeah, it's a great time to be an Xbox gamer. Can't complain.
Yo, General MLD sound like a good old salesman on that one. I almost make me want to resubscribe to Game Pass, even though
I had to count how many times this dude said Game Pass. I ain't gonna lie.
Man, Troy Perry, man, what are you been diving your fingers into? What games have been occupying you over the past week or so?
This one will be a lot shorter and sweeter than General's. Basically, I've just been playing Battlefield 2042. Still trying to grind that out and get used to just being able to play against all these people online, and I guess there might be some hackers or whatever. They're always so quick getting their trigger on, and I'm just like, I don't know what's going on here. Why am I so slow hitting that trigger button? Yeah, so I've been playing that as well as playing some WWE 2K22, and that's about it really. And I'm just getting ready for. I've also played Ghostbusters after watching you guys stream it. Got my hands on that, so gave that a go. Started Gotham Knights, but only played about an hour into that, and just waiting for Call of Duty to release tomorrow, and I believe today Star Ocean released here. So,
oh wow, I didn't forgot all about that. All right, man, that's a good thing. Battlefield, you keeping the game alive. Battlefield 2042. It's the first time I've heard that game in anybody's currently playing list in a while, man. But I ain't mad at it. Very diverse list. I know I can count on for Ole Man Logan and Troy, General MLD. I know you've been diving into a lot of stuff that's been thrown in the Game Pass. Obviously, it's pretty been clear what I've been playing. And General MLD, you mentioned this earlier. It's been extremely busy October, which is obviously I feel like this year overall has been sort of like a slow year on the Xbox side of things. Even for a Game Pass, even though there was games here and there, I felt like it didn't hit as hard as last year's did. But things are starting to ramp up now. Deathloop, I'm still like, I'm in the middle of that game. I haven't finished it. I finished it on PlayStation last year, so I guess I'm not really in like this like, oh, let me dive in there. I know the whole entire story. I beat it. I think I started on Xbox, and the whole purpose of me playing on Xbox is obviously preferable controller and then the achievement. So I can that's probably going to be something I probably when I take one of these much needed vacations, I'm just like, all right, let me just dedicate this day to Deathloop, wrap that up. So I still got to do Deathloop. Scorn, I was actually just enjoying a little bit. Like Scorn, I have like this love-hate relationship with.
Did you beat it yet?
No, absolutely not.
Come on,
No.
Smooth.
Yeah.
It's a 7-hour
No, but it's not that. So
No,
here's the thing.
puzzle's awesome.
Here's the thing. No, I haven't even. I feel like I ran into the hardest puzzle, which was at the start of the game. That's
the wall.
I mean,
That's definitely a wall.
there's like
I
this
can
one
see
that you
that
gotta
part.
like. I don't know. I would say the start of the game, that's like one of the easier. There's definitely some
it took
harder
me
ones.
2 hours, damn near 2 hours for that damn puzzle.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
Smooth,
me too. Actually, yeah.
I had to tell you how to heal.
Yeah, but like I would have figured it out eventually if I pressed start. But
I don't know if you would have.
so Scorn. My thing was about Scorn. It's like, okay, I get it. It's opening up. I'm seeing like how you get like the more you progress through the game, the more things open up to you and whatnot. And it's like cool. The combat, I'm right where I'm at. I'm not a fan of. But I like the way the game looks. Right, I admire the game look, and I was getting into it. It's just that I didn't beat it in a single day like a lot of people. So by the time things started opening up and I started to play more, more games came out.
We've all moved on.
More games came out. So Scorn, I was like, all right. But the problem is, there's games that I play that are like never ending, right? So you have like your 2K, for example. This 2K game is the most I've ever played a 2K ever. So I still play 2K. Like before the podcast, I was like, all right, what do I want to play? Do I want to play Persona? Do I want to progress in Persona? Do I want to progress a little bit more in the Plague Tale? Or do I just want to run a couple games in 2K and just like, and I was like, I'd rather play something that's not going, I'm going to get like sunk into and then have to stop because I got to do the podcast. I can just always stop playing 2K, right? So I was like, all right, I'll do 2K. So the thing is that like I'm dividing my time every time. I was like, all right, like the games that I'm working on now requires long play times to get anything significant done. Outside, obviously, scoring can be done in a day, but 2K is still in my play cycle. A Plague's Tale, I started it, got through the first 2 chapters, and I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. What I'll say about A Plague's Tale, graphically, it's a next generation game. I would not realize I was looking at a 1440p image. The only downside about this game is that we're not getting more than 40 FPS, which sucks because last year's game we got 60 FPS when the Series X and PS5 came out, and the update and whatnot. But like story wise, I like looking at the game and whatnot. I would be literally dedicated to. I probably would have had Plague's Tale probably done. But what happened is Persona came out. Now, this is a game I wasn't looking forward to. I didn't care. I was happy that it came to Xbox for bragging rights, right? I could talk about it, right? My plans for Persona, and Logan knows this. I think I said this during like Xbox showcase in December. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna download it, tease PlayStation fanboys about it, and probably install it afterwards, right? But 18 hours later. And it's the game I've actually played Persona on, like obviously on my Xbox, and then I bought a Kishi the other day and bought my Kishi with me to work like the last 2 days so I can at least sneak in like some significant like time playing Persona. So I'm eating crow. Like the game, it's a JRPG, it's an anime, it's a turn-based, everything I hate about video games. And
the only reason you're playing is because of a bet.
the only reason, the only reason why I'm
heard
playing
about
it
that.
was because of a bet. So now, the thing is like, what made it's like, all right, I was willing to lose this bet. I mean, I'm always losing bets, so I was like, all right, whatever. I at least got to give it a try. And Chris, gave me a little bit of motivation because he wants to be able to use me as a token against his fellow PlayStation guys who haven't gone through the gauntlet and beat the game. But the thing is that the odd surprise, I actually liked the game, and I started playing more than anticipated. I was like, all right, this is easily going to be a winnable bet. Like, because the bet was for me to beat the game by like Christmas, and if I'm at this rate, I'll beat it well before Christmas. But what's happening is I can't play anything else because I'm 18 hours in, and I'm only on the second palace, right? And obviously, there's other places you can go and do and stuff like that. And this game's gameplay cycle is sort of like the game's not hard, but it's the gameplay cycle is either going to turn people off.
It's long.
Yeah, it's long.
Like I've heard 100 hours.
Yeah, you have to get through.
And that's casually playing through.
Yeah.
What do you get if you win though? I'm curious.
$70 game.
He wins the bet. $70 game.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. So right now Persona's paying for itself. It was cheaper than $70, but yeah, that's the game I've been playing. I've captured a lot of gameplay from it. And Persona would solve two things for me. And Logan, I'm pretty sure you remember this. Remember I said, hey, I have a list of goals I want to do for gaming this year, right? And I said I want to beat a JRPG game this year. And the other game I want to do, I need to beat like a Bethesda type game this year. So if I can get through Persona, what a JRPG to pick. Nobody can say anything to me. So I'll be extremely happy once I get through this game, man. But it's been fun. I definitely recommend it for people. It is long. I can see why it's 100+ hours, and it hasn't turned me off yet. I've been enjoying the grind and upgrading of my party. Morgana's a cool character. The bow-legged dude with the blonde hair is a cool character, a bit aggressive. Main character Joker. What's this chick name that everybody used to? Now a lot of things are making sense to me now with a lot of the PlayStation fanboys I used to make fun of with all their anime and their anime porn and stuff like that. I was like, okay, this is where all this stuff comes from. So from it comes from these characters, right? So like it's been a good experience so far, man.
Did you ever play Yakuza Like a Dragon? Have you played that at all?
Yeah, but I didn't play it seriously, right?
Oh. I would say if you end up liking Persona, I would highly recommend trying to go back to that, because I'm trying to finish it up. I'm at chapter 12, and I just got to grind a little bit to finish chapter 12. I have 50+ hours in that game, and I've loved every single minute.
Oh yeah, that game is about half the length of Persona. But you're right. There is I did beat it earlier this year. There is that last little bit of the game where it forces you to grind up like a serious.
The boss that you fight at the end of chapter 12 is ain't no fucking joke.
Oh,
and you can't I said that on a casual playthrough of that game, I think it's 45 hours. But right now, I'm trying to do everything in it, and I'm at 55. But it's a very good game. I just got it on pause right now because everything is out or coming out.
Yeah.
But I'll get back to it after things calm down, which doesn't seem like it's happening until April.
Right. So yes, a ton of. No, you're right though. There's a ton of games coming out between and the thing is a lot of the games I want to highlight. There's still a ton of AA games that I want to play that I haven't fully dove into yet. That I've been talking about. I mean, I still haven't bought them. These are the games I wish were on Game Pass, like Still Rising. What's that game that was imitating Devil May Cry? Oh man, Solstice. I want to do. I want that. But I don't know where I'm gonna find it. Yeah,
Bayonetta 3 comes out Friday too. Shit.
Yeah,
man, I got a full weekend. I'm glad I got a couple days off. That's definitely
You
on my
playing
must
that
play.
smooth?
What?
You playing
Oh
Bayonetta
shit! It's
3?
NickBanks.
NickBanks. I am not playing Bayonetta. I have a,
You
I have
would
no.
probably like Bayonetta though. Like
I
it's a
would,
crazy,
I would like it if
fun
it was.
action game.
I would like it if it was on Xbox. I ain't trying.
Oh,
I'm not.
here
I'm
we
not.
go.
I'm not trying to do
Here
no.
we go.
I don't want to play on a platform that doesn't reward me for my playing.
Oh my god! It's just a game. Play it and be done with it.
Nah, I need to. I need that like that satisfaction.
Yeah, that's
of
crazy.
hearing
They didn't
some
implement
sort of
that.
award, bro. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's the only reason why PlayStation gets some sort of play in this household, and even PC. PC was smart enough to enable some sort of achievements on all those storefronts. Almost every storefront on PC got some achievements. That's crazy. Stadia enabled achievements before they died. Like, that's crazy. But
I mean they're dead, so I mean it doesn't really matter what they did.
hey, I mean, they tried. It's important. It's an important part of the gaming community. Talk about it.
There's a very song that hits me in the heart that I feel like I got to quote, but
What's that?
In the end, it doesn't even matter.
In the end, it doesn't. Okay, I got you. It does, though. You know why it does? You know
doesn't
why?
matter
Logan,
what they did.
Logan, you know why it matters? You know why it matters?
Why?
Because
Why?
all this week, I done seen you call out several people. Why? Highlighting their gamer score and their trophies compared to yours. You wouldn't be able to do that if this system didn't exist.
Call out people that want to sit there and gap all day for shit that they ain't even fucking playing. No. Like, nobody out here on Nintendo's like sitting there. Nobody on Nintendo.
But even if they did, you couldn't prove them wrong or not. You couldn't do anything.
That sucks, man.
I'll tell you what. I'll say I've never really seen those people like that group of gamers really like do like that kind of stuff though. Sit there and oh yeah, I did this. And I switched over to this platform because, like, you talked about that too. Like, I don't trust people that just hold on. Like,
I don't like the presidential gamers. No, I can't even call them presidential gamers. It's like
political gamers.
Political gamers. Yeah, I was like,
I played every single Call of Duty on Xbox, and this one's the one is meant to be on PlayStation. I'm like, dude, don't get me wrong. I love the DualSense. Hold up here.
Just like
I love the fucking DualSense controller. Mm-hmm. It is a great controller. I will never use that to play multiplayer.
Yeah, I rest it on my balls every now and then.
I would never. No, it is a solid controller for like playing, but I would never use it for competitive play.
Yeah,
I just wouldn't. Like, it's not that type of controller. So like for people to sit there and be like, oh, I'm going to use a DualSense to play Call of Duty, get the fuck out of here. What? I would never use a DualSense to play multiplayer games.
You can turn it off.
Joysticks are just better. Like they just are.
No, I use my Elite controller and I like the back pedals and stuff like that. And
that too.
PlayStation don't have that till January, which I think.
Are you buying?
Well, they got this.
I was looking at that Edge controller. Does that Edge only have 2 buttons on the back? It looked like it only had 2. Can someone correct me if I'm wrong on that?
I haven't really like looked deep into like the DualSense Edge. I'm just surprised. I mean, I'm not surprised that Sony's releasing. I'm just surprised PlayStation gamers are excited about it. Yeah, that they're excited about it.
You know what they say. They got games, so they can be excited about a controller.
But they don't got competitive shooters.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sure. Like, I'll probably pick up the Edge controller once those like live service games come out. But until then, I ain't paying $200 for that. When those games come out and they're coming out steadily and they're actually good multiplayer games, like I'll pick one up. But until then, you can keep that $200 to myself. Thank you. Actually, my $250 is going to Resident Evil 4 Collector's Edition. So
$250. What does it come with? A statue? Like
it comes with a big ass statue, Leon, a steelbook, a whole bunch of extra goodies and stuff. And
nice.
You know me. I'm like Resident Evil 4 is my all-time favorite game, so I'm dumping any money I can.
Yeah, PC game is crazy, man. Go ahead though. Go ahead, Smooth.
What?
Nah, I like to hear PC gamers talk about collectibles and stuff.
Collectible
like,
GPUs.
Listen, so in the past like 4 years, or if not more, I've only put money on 2 collector's editions.
Mm-hmm.
One is God of War Ragnarok, because that's 2018 is one of my all-time favorite games out there. So I got the $200 collector's edition of that, and then Resident Evil 4. Like those are all the only games that I'm getting collector's editions for.
Okay.
And
You
they're
notice how
ones
you
that-
said nothing about me calling you a PC gamer, but go ahead, Smooth.
Logan
Well,
is-
you already damn know I ain't no PC gamer. What the fuck you mean?
All right, couple things.
I put my money towards games, not components.
Couple things that's going on. Shout out to NXL Entertainment. They celebrating 20 years in the gaming industry. Shout out to Brian Fargo. He's the lead of that. Watch that 20-minute video. Pretty good. Looking forward to see what NXL got. Crazy thing is I haven't beaten a single game from NXL. So hopefully, whatever they do in the future is something that interests me.
Yeah, me too, man.
Yeah, they only mostly do like what, the Wasteland?
They do Wasteland,
I tried
Bard's
Wasteland
Tale.
3,
They
man.
do those. I don't want to say this wrong because this is what I got confused with last week on Playing Xbox. Y'all was talking about like the isometric things, and I thought that's what you meant.
Well, that is what. No, we were talking about asymmetric.
Asymmetrics, and I think that is considered
Asymmetric multiplayer.
Yeah, their games
where
are
you
considered,
were the NXile, they do the isometric style like games, like Wasteland 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Those are the only games I'm like have in my head right now. But
yeah.
Did they make Bard's Tale?
They make Bard's Tale. Yup,
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah,
Bard's Tale.
Why the hell? I don't think I've ever heard of that. Bard's Tale.
You do, yeah. It's like you got to be a PC
Is it
junkie.
good?
No.
Well, I know. I think I've seen Bard's
Yeah,
Tale on like the Xbox.
Yeah.
Store,
They
I don't know anything.
it.
I don't know anything about it.
I tried to play it and I was like, not for me, sir. Not for me.
That joint is garbage. I don't know, man.
Yeah. Also, did any of you guys check out the new Redfall trailer? I want to know your thoughts.
It looks sick, but I'm
looked
interested. What does what do they changed the wording of what systems it's available for to Xbox consoles? So
Oh yeah.
what does that mean? Like I'm very confused.
Well, technically, because there's Xbox Series X and S, and then you can play it on an Xbox One because of
That's why I didn't know
play.
if that's what they were directing it as. It just seemed weird that like now they shifted to that.
Yeah, but
after
you got to be careful because
2 years.
This is why they have to do that, right? Because all Xbox games that are cloud compatible, even like for example,
play
like
them on Xbox
the
One.
medium flight sim and stuff, that's all playable on Xbox One via cloud. So they don't want to say it's not available because there's still obviously a lot of people with Xbox Ones. And if you say, all right, Xbox consoles, if they have a game, they technically have access to the game. So I think that's why they pivoted that way. I shout out to God's Bulldog. Is a good friend of mine that I met on, I think when Xbox One came out. We met in I think 2014 through Xbox Party Chat and stuff like that. I think we met through either Titanfall or the Master Chief Collection. Was one of those games. Good dude. Used to talk to him for about like 6 months, almost to like a year, and then obviously through the years you lose contact with people on Xbox and stuff like that. He randomly invited me to a party because I think he had a lot of changes in his life, and he mentioned to me, he was like, "Hey man, I bought," and he still has an Xbox One, and I thought this was funny. Like he's like, "Yeah, I bought Gotham Knights, and I realized I can't play it." And I was like,
"Oh man, he didn't buy it digitally, did he?
He bought it digitally."
Oh man,
I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah.
How did they? Didn't it pop up? It would pop up with the error that said that he shouldn't be able to buy it.
No,
not like that he shouldn't be able to buy it, but it's not playable on that platform.
Matter of fact, I can't. No matter of fact, I can't say if he. I don't know if he bought it digitally. So he might have had it physically because he was telling me about Call of Duty.
Because I don't think it will let you. I don't think Xbox One would let you buy.
That's true.
If it's not playable on that platform.
What does it say? See, I have to go to the store.
I know. So I know I'm trying to think for like Deathloop. If you went on the Xbox store right now and tried to play Deathloop on Xbox One, you can buy the game for $60. Right, you can buy the game for $60 on Xbox One, but you can only play it on the cloud, right, on your Xbox One.
Yeah.
Or it will say on the the left side, it'll say play cloud gaming.
Yeah.
Through Game Pass. So that's what it looks like on there. Yeah. But like for like the Xbox, so say for Gotham Knights though, I would say it would just pop up with a big error that says that you can't play this game on.
Or say unavailable.
It wouldn't let you. Yeah. It might not say unavailable. It would just pop up and say, it might say unavailable, and it might highlight, hey, this game's not compatible for Xbox One consoles. But But where was this guy at? Like, this has been like
he's been
it's
like,
still,
it's just
where is he been? Like, that kind of sounds like a user error.
No, but there's a lot of things he didn't know. He didn't know about all the cloud gaming and stuff like that. So I'm like, bro, I was like, yeah, dude. I was like, yeah,
that's that cat. That's that cat.
Yeah, so I had to catch.
Like, dude ain't looking at anything.
I had to catch him up to like things. Is like, dude, if you like, I was like, you better off getting that because he's playing on the Xbox One, and I'm like, dude, you better off just getting a Series S at least. you know what I mean, just to like, but he likes physical disc, so he's probably gonna get a Series X. But it was just a funny thing that came up. Since we brought that up, but yeah, Microsoft, they're gonna pivot to like talk about being playable on consoles because technically all their games are still gonna be playable through on Xbox one way or the other, And I remember when Phil Spencer said they're gonna be supporting Xbox for a couple years. People was like, oh, they're gonna hold it back, no next gen games, and just to find out, well. This is how they're going to be able to do it without having to release games natively for it. But no, I thought the Redfall trailer, looks dope. It keeps looking better every day I see it. Any idea when you guys think this is coming out, man? I don't like these.
My real quick thing here, they need to fix because there's a report out there that only the host gets progress. They need to fix that shit before it comes out. So like if you invite your buddies over, right, and say you guys dispatch leave, and your friends don't carry progress over. They need progress.
No, you can't.
They're not fixing.
I wouldn't fix that either.
That's just how the game's gonna be.
Yeah, they explained that. Addict. I don't know who they explained that, and it made sense, right? Because the thing is that you don't want to. Let's say, depending on how long the game is, right? Let's say I'm playing my story, right? And you're in a different part, and you need the help in your story. I go to your game, right? And we do all this stuff together, right? I come back. What do I skip some of the things? Like what happens at that point? So I get it. I understand. Like as long as I'm able to get whatever loot unlocks, like any of the special items that I could equip on my character and bring that to my game, that I'm fine with. I'd rather that than like I don't mind them doing unless I plan on playing the entire game with somebody with that one person. I mean, I don't see why it would be necessary, but the way they explained it, and this was like right after like their showcase in the summer. I felt like they explained it in a good way where it was understandable.
They explained it in a way, but it's still bullshit. It's like that's all fine and dandy, but I still want to carry over that progress, and
like I believe Saints Row has that, right?
I don't know what Saints Row has. I installed that bad boy for
because you could. I remember Saints Row. You could go into a co-op thing and then say you go into your own game and says you want to skip this progress because we already see that you've completed it. Say skip, and then it takes you right to where you left off in your co-op game.
Oh, I wouldn't have known.
Outriders the same.
Outriders.
What's that?
Oh no, how Outriders work? I feel like Outriders. No, it doesn't carry over. Because Outriders, your gear carry because I played Outriders with a numerous amount of people, different partners in Outriders, right? So what Outriders, your main character, when you invite people to your game, they're all riding off your game. They get obviously gear and stuff like that and level up and stuff like that, but everything's based on you. After your run with them is done, you play on you still have to go through the whole process and beat the game on your save as well. So unless you already completed it through somebody else save, but yeah, it doesn't like carry over. If you stop playing with somebody and start continue on like solo, you're gonna continue on wherever you were.
I feel like there's a lot of examples of people that can do it successfully. Like Borderlands does it good. Like
you're right.
It's just like, how hard is it to put in there when you join someone's game that's ahead of yours? This will mess something up, or do you want to play off your save? Like, I feel like other people's done it. Why can't they do it? Like, to me, it feels like this game wasn't originally designed to be co-op until a certain part in the development cycle, and then they put that on there. That's probably wrong, but it's just
It's probably wrong.
But to me, I just don't understand how we're still at this set piece where when you make these co-op experience games that focuses heavily on co-op, you still got to do the same the shit twice.
Well, it's
Like,
it's Arcane who hasn't made multiplayer games like that. You know what I mean? They're
but
heavily
you can
focused.
hire people with
They got-
experience.
No, they heavily focus on camp story single player. They probably still artificially
then
doing
they
this because they still want players to get the full thing. You know what I mean? Like
I feel you, Smooth, but you could easily hire people that have experience doing it. Like, you know,
They got that Microsoft money now.
yeah. I mean, I don't think it's that big of a deal. If it was like an 8-hour game, sure, but like, I just don't see like some of these games, depending on how long and how much stuff they got you doing, and then you got multiple playable characters and stuff, like you're going to be able to upgrade. I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't have an issue with it because I played several games already that didn't have that.
I'll say it's not an issue, it's annoying. And I feel like us just proactively saying it's annoying isn't fixing the issue. So I'm gonna start being vocal when they do this stuff. It's like, look, if you're gonna make a game that focuses decently about co-op, make it to where we can do it truly together, because you can't really do it together. Because
Bro, it's a single player game with co-op in it, dude. That's what they say. It's a single player focused game.
Go look at the earlier promotion. They promoted co-op experience more than single player. That's just recently something they started doing now.
Nah, they've been saying their wording has been consistent ever since they revealed the game.
I don't know about that.
All right, go look up Redfall.
They revealed it as like a co-op.
They
game.
revealed it because they have co-op in it, but every time they got an opportunity to talk about it, like I'm talking about outside of trailers, every time they got an opportunity to talk about it in interviews or do any sort of commentary, they tell you this is still a true Arcane game that heavily focuses. It's a single player game with co-op. That's what they hate. That's what they tell you. I mean, I know I can't be the only one that have heard that.
No, I know.
It's
no
not-
one believed it because they see the initial trailer and everyone just assumes it's like a wacky kind of co-op kind of game, and they've been trying to convince everyone in an uphill battle ever since. Which is why I think.
Would you blame them for marketing it?
Oh,
terribly then?
I know.
I'd be like,
that was their
that
mistake.
sounds like a them problem.
Oh, I know, that was their mistake. But that's why I like the new trailer, because it shows what the game is truly about. Like, hey, it's a moody, atmospheric single player game, and it's co-op on the side. So they finally got the marketing right. So I like that. And on another note, you guys mentioned release dates. I think it'll release in February, because Age of Empires 2 Remastered is going to be in January. Ghostwire Tokyo's in March. I think February is a good time. Kind of space everything out.
Oh, you're.
I think March.
Yeah.
As long as they don't delay Starfield. Starfield's still in March at this point.
I think you'll get a release date at the Video Game Awards.
For what game? The Redfall or Starfield?
Hopefully both.
I mean, you
I
know what
think
they should have done if they
Starfield's coming out. I think-
really wanted to like make some noise. They should have put out a beta on like Halloween or some shit like that.
What about
I
a
think-
Vow? Like, ain't that? ain't
I
they
think
supposed to be-
Starfield's coming
And
out.
Avowed forever away.
Yeah.
No,
Depends what
Valve's a
Starfield
lot
release
sooner
date.
than you think.
Yeah, I
I
don't
think
know about that.
Starfield is probably, you're looking at November, but it's going to get delayed to the end of next year.
Yeah, if
Dang.
Starfield's June or July, maybe Avowed can pass for a holiday title. But if Starfield's delayed, then you have to delay Avowed. You just have to.
I think Avowed, you might be looking at next year's holiday game.
But then no, that's Starfield. I mean, like they're gonna. You think both Starfield and
No, I meant the year after that.
2024?
The year after that.
No, you said
Yeah.
sooner. You said a lot
11,
sooner, bro.
2024, calling it.
Bro, you said a lot sooner than I'm anticipating. I'm not thinking of. If you say a lot sooner, I'm not expecting 2024.
Well, he acted the way he talked like forever. I thought he was thinking like 2026, 2027.
Yo, anything,
Well,
any game that's coming
the
out
reason-
during the next presidential election is still far away from me.
I think the game's going to be done,
Mhm.
but they're going to have issues on when to release stuff, because I'm
Nah.
confident Hellblade
Mhm.
and Avowed is going to be finished around the same time frame, and they're going to have a hard time finding out decent dates to release these games without them stepping on each other.
Well,
You know
nah,
what's
they
funny,
ain't have.
though?
They shouldn't have an issue. They have Game Pass. It ain't like they're gearing up for like holiday sales. And my thing is, they shouldn't be trying to wear like holding off games, because at the end of the day, if you nobody from Xbox should be in position to hold off games after 2022, bro.
Amen.
Like I don't,
Hey,
I don't
agree.
care about any release schedule, strategy. Nah, give them to me all the same week if you can. Like I'll decide when to play them. Like, what's up?
I know which one you would be up for to be delayed.
What?
That motherfucker Everwild. Like that joint.
That shit don't even have a concept. What do you mean delay?
I was still tripping off of that game, bro.
I just personally feel like if Starfield's able to hit the right date of June, July next year,
Yep.
then you'll see Hellblade the holiday of next year. Then you'll see Avowed around the same time Starfield came out this year. But I just
Wasn't Hellblade announced before?
It was Everwild was the first game announced for next gen, and then it was Hellblade.
I think
like
you're
6
most
months
likely.
before.
And then I do think a year and a half after that, you'll see the Outer Worlds too.
Yeah, see,
Because,
Obsidian, those guys are like the best. I think the best acquisition they made of a single studio. Obsidian,
I think Obsidian is Microsoft's best studio.
Oh yeah, they really know how to
I like Obsidian. I respect them, but I won't go. All right, they may prove in the end when it's all said and done. Yeah, they may be approved. We'll see how Avowed and Outer Worlds 2 turns out, which I expect them both to be good. Outer Worlds 1 was fantastic. But I still don't overlook studios like Playground and Coalition. I think they carried the Xbox One, literally. They carried the Xbox One generation.
Yeah,
they're the reason for like the whatever 50 million Xbox Ones or so, because those 2 studios literally had to be the only ones that was pushing out games every other year.
Ain't Coalition working on something different than Gears?
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to see what it is.
What
people don't understand about the Coalition is the best developers of Unreal Engine outside of Epic.
Yeah, they're
like, when people need help with Unreal Engine, they either go to Epic or they go to Coalition. People forget, like,
that's gorgeous. Like, yeah, anyone here play Hive Busters? That game looked great on this, like on Series X.
When
it was definitely good.
Shout out to Broken Games HDR. He says, I like this Planet Xbox remodel. Who got this done? Shout out to BG for the hookup. He got this. This the Planet Xbox remastered.
Look at him acting like he don't know. Like he tried to get low key credit. That's what he's in here fishing for. He's fishing for some compliments.
Wait, did BG do it?
No, he didn't do it. But BG got the brains.
BG tried to get credit for someone else's credit.
The brains and outreach. It was actually Dimensional Legend.
Oh shit! Okay, right there, Dimensional. Okay. Well, shit. Good job on the layout. It looks awesome. Very clean. Very nice. Love the logo.
And just if we get a quick break,
you still need to make that logo bigger. Why did you not make that bigger yet? We talked about that last week.
The Planet Xbox logo bigger, and then
it needs to be way bigger. It's like a tiny,
and some Twitter handles,
pinky nail
on the bottom. But we'll determine that after we solidify, panel for sure. Yo, hit that like button, hit the share button. 97 people here in the chat. We should really be doing better numbers because I am the best bot. But hit the like button, share this out, put this on Twitter. There's not much going on. Your favorite team is probably losing. It's early in the season. So let's get it going. All right. So another thing happened. General MLD, you mentioned this earlier. Age of Empires finally coming to Xbox. I don't know why it's taking this long. I've been a long protester of this PC first. I've always been against Xbox releasing games on PC first and doing Xbox later. So this shouldn't be a big announcement. It shouldn't be like something like to find celebrate. Nah, like if Xbox games got to go to PC day and date naturally, like because it's a play it anywhere initiative, it should be the same across the board. Like Gears Tactics, Flight Sim, all that, Age of Empires. Yeah, if you're releasing that game and these are targeted at PC, even though I have no interest in playing them, I expect them to be on the Xbox console day one. So that's what I'm gonna say about that. But other than that, Age of Empires 2, the definitive edition, General MLD. What date is that coming? to the
I
consoles?
believe it said January 31st, but yeah, no one expected that. Everyone was always asking for Age of Empires 4, so
Yeah.
this was a nice little surprise.
Absolutely.
Start
And
start off the year right.
is this coming? Is it just the series consoles and cloud, or is it Xbox One getting the native version? I wasn't too sure about that.
Age of Empires 2 is also Xbox One, but
Okay.
Age of Empires 4 is just like, I think it'll be like the Redfall situation, just, consoles. But that one doesn't have a release date. Only Age of Empires 2 has a release date of January 31st.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's good. I do agree with what you're saying, though.
Mm-hmm.
They should, they should in practice do day one games, regardless of genre. I mean, I'm sure you're going to protest when they have Aura, History, Untold,
that's
or
PC only
Age
right
of
now.
Mythology. Those will be PC first. I mean, if I had to kind of guess why they would do that, I think it's just because, like, maybe just development resources. Maybe, I don't know, because
Nah, when these are being pushed by Microsoft, that shouldn't be able to be something they could like use
Yeah.
development resources, because it's like Microsoft should proactively, okay, this is how much it's going to cost to make the PC version to get it over the finish line. How much additional do we need to put on to make sure it comes to consoles too?
Yeah.
no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So, but hey, we're getting it regardless, and I hope that they they listen to the protests clearly for Age of Empires 4, so they are listening. So we'll have to at least give them credit there. But hey, because now we can actually officially count these games, because it's funny online we couldn't count Age of Empires 4 because they weren't on consoles, because it's only on PC. Same one for Flight Sim and Gears Tactics. So now we can officially enjoy and play these games and actually acknowledge them for a change. So I'm glad that they're reaching these gamers here. RTS gamers, they are a small niche, but I'm glad Xbox is the only brand that's actually listening to that crowd and making these niche genres.
Yo, Gears Tactics was actually good, man. That's a good
Yeah,
game.
and
Check it
that's
out.
another thing that should have came out like the moment.
Yeah.
That, yeah, we shouldn't have had to wait so long.
Yeah.
I get it that they want to push the PC thing, but it's just like push games that I know for a fact cannot be on Xbox. If it could be on Xbox, it should be on Xbox. Point blank. Period.
That's true. Ideally, you're absolutely right. It should be like that.
Like go in there and fund some more crazy dumb stuff for what's that game that's been funded to oblivion and still ain't done? Star Galactica or whatever it is.
Halo Infinite.
No, he's calling about City. Oh, what the hell is it called? Oh my god, what is the name of the damn game? It's a game.
Xbox First Party?
No,
Xbox First Party?
no, it's not an Xbox game. It's a
PC.
It's a PC game.
Oh, Star
Someone in the
Citizen.
chat's about to say it, though, so you only got a couple seconds before someone in that chat.
Star
says it.
Citizen.
Yeah,
Star Citizen. Yeah, there it is.
Star Citizen. Yeah. Wow. Another thing, Wulong got a release date. I believe it's March 23rd. Is that correct? And obviously we're bringing this up because this is a day one on Game Pass. I think the demo is still live, is it or no? The demo was pretty good. This is Wulong is like people. I found it the play style to be. I didn't play Neo, so I maybe it's closer to Neo, but I felt to me it felt like I was playing like another like Souls game. With a little bit more range, a little bit more diversity to it. The game looks gorgeous. I know it had a performance mode and a quality mode. They're gonna, I think Team Ninja's behind this one. It's day one on Game Pass, and it's actually March 3rd, so a lot sooner than I said. Game Pass day one, so we're gonna be on it. Game Pass is looking very, very, very healthy. Next year with the games, and obviously they're gonna close out. This year with a couple games. We still got to get like I said, Gungrave is coming. There's High on Life, which is in December. So couple things going on. Now there's some news came out today. Phil Spencer was on I think was it Wall Street Live?
Wall Street Journal,
yeah, and they talked about a lot of things. He talked about the ABK deal, who's not talking about that. They talked about, Game Pass. Obviously, Xbox, Microsoft, their financials and stuff came out, I think yesterday or 2 days ago. So we're gonna discuss that. But there were some like revelations about Game Pass, about what their plans are for Call of Duty and stuff like that. What is Microsoft next stop in gaming? And some news out there surprised a lot of people. It does shut a lot of people up, because there's a lot of people when we're talking about Game Pass and we're talking about games, I guess the thing is, people, there was really no way to hate it, but what the way people would do to try to argue us down, and I say us, me, other Xbox guys who are like argue us down, is that Game Pass isn't profitable, it doesn't make any money and all this other stuff. Like that was like but it does. So I guess that would be used like as a scare tactic for it to close down sometime soon or whatever. But Phil Spencer did reveal that Game Pass is representative of 10 to 15% of all Microsoft gaming revenue. So that translates to billions, by the way. And then he said that that Game Pass is profitable. So despite what these these armchair analysts believe in their their left-handed math, tell you, according to the man himself, it is profitable. So I definitely gotta
Jim Ryan
turn this over to General MLD, because I know you've been in the trenches in these discussions with people, and where Game Pass stands. And
is this like the General MLD?
This is the General MLD.
I've heard so much about you, and I've never actually podcasted with you.
Oh, the very same. Yeah, that's me. Well, you remember me from the 360 days?
I wasn't around for the 360 days. It's usually BG that be saying stuff. BG or Vaughn.
Oh yeah. Those are the OG guys too. Talk to them regularly. Oh yeah, sorry. But the Phil Spencer quotes. Yeah. It's a good day. It's a good day because they have to say it so many times. Game Pass is sustainable. They say it several times, and people still think that translates to Game Pass is just hemorrhaging money left and right. Mm-hmm. Phil Spencer actually had to spell it out for everybody. It is profitable, and a lot of narratives were destroyed today. And it's you see all the salt. Of course, no one's admitting it. Everyone's walking it back. They're immediately deflecting to, but they're going to increase prices of Game Pass sometime in the future. We don't know when. It's pretty vague. But let's talk about that instead. No. Can we just, can you admit that you're wrong? Can you admit that you guys were pessimistic the entire time? No? Can't do that? Oh, okay. So, yeah. No, I mean, it makes sense. Like, it brings in X amount of revenue. People assume that we were all on the $1 a deal. Hey, so was I. That runs out. And I was charging. I'm paying full price for a while now. So that was also a very, very stupid narrative that we're all just paying $1 over and over again. So yeah, they're making money. They use that money to reinvest, give it to developers. We got a lot of indie games day one. We got games like Plague Tale, Sniper Elite 5, and all these other day one games next year. They're using that money to give us more games, and it's just a nice cycle of winning. Like, the developers win, we win. It's amazing. They're actually trying, and it's actually working.
I got one thing. Can I say one thing to that? Because
go ahead, NickBanks.
There's a lot of people, man, that they've been running around with this whole thing they got to pay developers just to put their game. No, every developer don't pay. Actually, I think some developers just wish and hope to be in Game Pass for real. So
I know developers, indie developers that actually have reached out to Microsoft multiple times to get their gaming Game Pass and have been denied multiple times.
Yeah, it makes sense that they will want their game to be on that platform, because most developers just want their game to be played so they can sell microtransactions. Let's get
just exposure.
But you get what I'm saying, though.
Oh yeah, because for me anyway, the only indie games I played this year, they were all from Game Pass, like Tunic, Hellsinger, Proteus. If they weren't on Game Pass, I'll say it now, I probably wouldn't have bought them. I might have overlooked them.
Yeah.
So that's a real factor. They need the exposure.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a ton of people that haven't played Asterigos Curse of the Stars because it's not on Game Pass right now. Great game, by the way. I still recommend people buy it, but that would have been a nice get for Game Pass.
So their strategy is clearly working. So it's also nice to hear as an Xbox fan that it is profitable. And and this is supposed to be on the off year. Like imagine next year, when all the big games drop and it'll cause a subsurge and everything. It'll be insane. Especially if the Activision Blizzard thing comes through.
You said
the whole back catalog comes to Game Pass. We get Diablo 4 day one all of a sudden. We'll get the Overwatch campaign day one, probably, maybe. But yeah, this is 2022, and Game Pass is growing and is profitable. So it's good news.
General MLD, let's talk about that. Since you said subsurge, like that report that came out was saying that Phil Spencer said that people was like, they kind of looked at it like it was saying that it came to a halt, like it reached its peak. I see some
people are running with that narrative. Yeah. Can I explain that? Oh, no, my bad.
Yeah.
Wait, no.
I want to talk to you, but you go first. Yeah.
No, go ahead. No. You had that question for General. Like, go ahead. I'll let him do that. 'Cause I want to make sure I pull up the right wording. Go ahead. My bad, General.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Well, I think to a degree is right because you have only so many consoles to go around and only so many people willing to pay. I think the family plan, once you do that, that's going to be a big first step. I think there's a lot of holdouts, people on the fence. But you got people that are literally going to do free marketing because the more people you get in on the family plan, the cheaper it'll be for everybody. So, I mean, I, for one, put my wife on myself so we can play like Grounded or Sea of Thieves together because I got the Xbox One and the Series X and we can play together like that. So, and people will have their friends and whatnot. So, the family plan will go ways to squeeze out more from the console base. But I think PC and cloud are the real frontiers that they gotta really explore. If they somehow get negotiations going with Steam to integrate Game Pass into Steam, I know they gotta work out the revenue sharing stuff like that. But if they can do that, because the PC is where the sky's the limit, and if they can crack PC, then that's really where Game Pass is going to grow.
No, absolutely. I think Nick, you're talking about where he the quote where he says we've seen incredible growth on PC. On console, I've seen growth slow down, not stop, but slow down. They've seen growth slow down. Mainly because at some point you've reached everybody on console that wants to subscribe. Now let's put that in perspective. Let's be
careful.
Let's put this in perspective. While slow down, when they say seen growth slow down, doesn't mean it stopped. It's just not, the growth wasn't there they saw in like 2020 and 2021, and there's logical reasons for that, right?
Hold on, Smooth. Before you explain this,
yeah,
let's just try to look at this like, you're dealing with mortgages and stuff like that. So if your sales slow down on you getting people to buy houses, look at it like that. But go ahead. I just wanted to. Yeah, go ahead.
So pretty much. So the thing is, on the console front, he's saying things are slowed down, but there's factors. Remember, there was a slowdown on console production. So Xbox consoles are only available in many abundance. So you got to assume every time they sell a Series S, they'll sell a Game Pass subscription. And chances are when they sell a Series X, they're going to sell a Game Pass subscription. But like those console sales are only Series X and Series S. Even if every 100% of Series S and Series X owners subscribe to Game Pass, they would still not be at that many because there's, say, maybe 17 million of those available worldwide in houses. So that's and Game Pass is what they last announced at 25 million, but we know according to the reports that there was growth there as well. They said PC subscriptions grew 159%, which I don't know where the base is, but you gotta.
Are they still selling gold? I just want to know.
I don't know, dude. How I know gold is still available to buy. Like you can still get it.
Yeah, but they didn't put that in the report.
If it did, I didn't read the full report. I don't got the full report in front of me, but
Okay.
the thing is that you got to consider if they sell more consoles, they'll sell more subscription. But this is the reason why, and they know that they're not going to get 100 million Game Pass subscribers on consoles. It's not possible. They don't have 100 million consoles sold, right?
Right. That's true.
So what we're seeing happening. Think about what's happening, right? They got their partnership with Samsung. Now the app is natively on Samsung TV. So you got to sell things that way, right? There's always TVs selling, right? You got PCs, everybody getting the PCs. And guess what? You got all these third parties coming up with these Switch-like handhelds, Steam Decks, where Xbox is literally becoming like native apps on this one. The new Logitech thing. That's probably somebody that doesn't have an Xbox that literally can get a Game Pass account right there. That's how they're going to get those subscriptions. It's like, and everybody think, even though at the end of the day,
bro,
they can.
You're taking a long time to tell us why it slowed down, bro.
I thought I answered that. They slowed down because they haven't sold as many consoles and they haven't released any games.
So that's the reason why.
That's the why it slowed down on console.
Okay.
Because it says, and when I say slow down, again, doesn't mean it stopped. It's just the growth that they had. Like I think 2021 they had record growth. 2020 they had record growth. But what was happening? They had consoles out there selling, and they had them in the high abundance. They had game releases coming out, and they were at like key times to help that. In 2022, there was none of that.
I got something to say to that, because even in like during the midst of the pandemic and when it was really hard to find, like even Series S's and X's, it wasn't at a slow down pace. You know what I mean? So why now? Like,
but then again, even though, because you got to think about when they were putting out those consoles, right? Those consoles were even though they were selling out as soon as they put them out, but it doesn't mean that there was a whole lot of them. You know what I mean? It wasn't a whole lot to begin with. So even like I said, even if they sell every console they sell, they get a Game Pass subscription. It's not going to be a whole lot. And you got to think about a lot of those subscriptions is carried over from people that were on Xbox One. Right, so you upgrade to an Xbox Series. That's not a new subscription. You just continue your subscription. I didn't have to resubscribe to Game Pass. I just, my subscription carried over. And you got to think about it. I've now played Game Pass on multiple devices so far, but I'm not being counted as a new subscriber. It's my subscription on my Xbox, my subscription on my phone, and my subscription on my Series S or whatever, and then on my computer. So it's like Microsoft like consumer friendly approach doesn't really help them, right? You know what I mean? Imagine if they locked you to a device. All right, you got to get it on here. Now you got to get it on that device, and you got to get the device if you want to play everywhere, right? Then they can really fudge up the numbers if they really wanted to do that. But I'm not like I said, I'm not too worried about it. And then another thing that people pointed to, I think General MLD was gonna speak on, is this whole price increase, which a lot of people are taking. I don't want to say people are taking out of context, but it's like there's like, you see, we told you. I was like, bro, nobody on the Xbox side, nobody in general said Game Pass is going to be this price permanently. We all expected, and I think Logan, Dre can even back me up on this. I think I've even had literally sessions where I said, this is how much Game Pass could literally charge and it still be worth the money. Where I was like, at some point it'll probably get to, I think the most they could probably charge for Game Pass where it would no longer be, where it still wouldn't be an issue, is like maybe, now I hope it doesn't get this high this soon, but I say like $30, $35, you can probably still, because at the end of the day, depending on how many games they're dropping, games are what? They're $60 and $70, right? If you think about it, if you pay, depending on how many games you buy, like throughout the year at that price, and Game Pass is less than that price, you still make out better. So, like, we know the price is going to go up, but I don't think the price is going to go. I think what happens when the price goes up is that certain things have to happen, right? One, they have to introduce the family plan. That will by default increase the price. It's another tier that's going to be at a higher price. So that's going to raise the price without actually raising the price. The ABK deal has to go through, and that's not going to translate them to raising the price right away. You got to let it actually like affect, like, okay, now we're adding this stuff into it. So I would say like 6 months to a year after that, the service get like a natural increase.
It'll soften the blow for sure once you see the games come on.
I think they'll raise the price when they can start actively putting Call of Duty in Game Pass.
So a year after the acquisition, pretty much.
I thought they said it was 3 years.
Well, the Call of Duty PlayStation's deal ended in what, 2024?
Right.
So,
Damn.
assuming if they deal ends in 2024, that means, I don't know what's their last deal, where their last deal started. I'm assuming Cold War up until whatever game that's coming out in 2024, right? So that means in 2025, new Call of Duty games could start coming on Game Pass day one.
In theory, yeah. But at the very least, the old back catalog will come on right away.
Yeah. That would, anything, all the 360 games, all the like 20 everything that came out on the Xbox One, I think up until essentially Cold War will be there like soon as the deal goes through. Unfortunately,
that don't entice me at all.
Because you
haven't played Call of Duty since the 360 days. You never gave a shit about Call of Duty to be with. I'm just saying, if Xbox is spending this $70 billion to get Activision, right, just to upcharge me Game Pass to put Call of Duty on there, which I already own. I already paid for. I'd be kind of pissed about that because
because
it ain't doing shit for me.
I think it's more for the next generation, though. Like for the new generation.
Yeah, next generation consoles will be the biggest thing because that's when everything obviously starts over, and then you're like, all right. Yeah. But like the backlog, I do enjoy the backlog stuff because there's stuff. Even though there's a ton of Call of Duty that came out, like remember I went through my phases where I started skipping like Call of Duty. There's still Call of Duties that I didn't play. Right, I can go and buy them, but why if I know this deal is imminent? Like, why would I do that? I'm not going to buy Crash or Spiral. No, I'm waiting for those things to jump right into Game Pass, right? So I think it opens a door for a lot of things when this deal goes through. It allows licensing deals opens back up. Maybe we could finally get the Quakes and stuff like that we're still waiting on because people forget a lot of those games that Bethesda own were made by like Raven and originally published by like Activision. I think the original Quake 4 was published by Activision and developed by Raven. It used its software, I think. But and I think that's the reason why we don't got like the back compat on that or a proper remake because there's those are two publishers. It's probably like a 007 deal. I think the only reason why it was able to get the PC version because it technically still exists on PC. It exists on Xbox 360, but it actually exists on PC. They just ported it to Game Pass. And they couldn't do really anything with it because the Quake 4 on Game Pass has no controller support, no achievement support. So it's literally truly not like a new like thing, and it's like locked at 62 frames per second. Literally 62, not 60, not 62 for no matter what type of rig you got, you can only play it at 62 frames per second. But like there's a lot of backlog. Like I don't think I played Call of Duty 3. I don't think I played I obviously didn't play Vanguard. I don't have that. I skipped out on some of the Black Ops games. So and then obviously those games by Toys for Bob and like the Tony Hawks and all this other stuff that are available. I'm just looking forward to all those like a wide range of titles. And what about the commercials, the licensing stuff like those Marvel? Do you think do we get the Marvel games? Do we get Sekiro since technically Activision
you're not getting you're probably not going to get the Marvel or the Transformer games.
Oh man, see those are the things Deadpool. That
because those licenses Activision does not have those licenses at
time
all.
frames, and most likely,
licenses are elsewhere.
Well, it's not even that. Even if they had loopholes, Microsoft probably wouldn't just force stuff like that because they do have some form of relationships they need to keep. No one wants to like Oh, well, technically, you know, when you signed this one, we didn't think Microsoft would be owning that later. Like,
No, I've been saying it would be nice to be able to go like and back at least make them backwards compatible or like playable or some shit like that.
I would like to just be able to buy the Marvel Ultimate Alliance and
Yeah.
the Transformers collection. Like,
Yeah.
you can't even buy them anymore. I would buy them.
Yeah.
I wish I would have
Yeah,
bought
those
them.
games. If I was
they-
forward thinking, I would have bought them. If I was forward thinking,
they
I would have
were-
bought them.
They didn't release them physically. There was only digital releases.
Mm-hmm.
So like that kind of sucks.
Yeah. But yeah, so and Phil Spencer obviously feels confident about the deal. They said they intend to make Call of Duty available for PlayStation. They're going to treat it like Minecraft. So like meaning even though they got their deals in terms of like how often they want to re-up and whatnot, the intention is for Call of Duty to remain on my PlayStation as well, to bring it to the Nintendo Switch, which I do believe them when they say that. I mean, it is what it is. It's like, and then, but you know, you know what they did? Whoever was asking Phil Spencer that question, they asked a Nick Maricelli question. Well, what about Starfield? And and Phil Spencer, what he said, what the hell did he say? And I love this response. Let me see if I can pull it up. He said something that made sense. He was like, Starfield. Well, no, he was like, yeah, well, you know, some platforms have exclusive, like PlayStation, Nintendo. We have exclusive. Call of Duty is different because it's a massive multiplayer game that has like a ton of communities. And this is one argument that I can't stand people do when they talk about Call of Duty and the ZeniMax and stuff like that. They always want to bring up, well, why isn't Starfield? Why don't they bring? Because they don't need to bring freaking Starfield. Like, why don't people see that there's a clear difference? It's a clear difference, bro. Like there's nothing. It's Starfield. The thing is, Starfield's not available on the PS4. It wasn't going to be available on the PS4. So it's not like a loss. It was never there. Like even with Elder Scrolls, by the time Elder Scrolls come up, right? No Elder Scroll is the same.
It'll be about 15 years later.
It'll be 50. Yeah, it's gonna be a long. It's gonna be a long time from now. And by the time, and it's not like their stories are connected. They're not. Each Elder Scrolls is a different game. and they already got you covered with Elder Scrolls. You know, Elder Scrolls Online. Like you get
Elder
this.
Scrolls are definitely connected. I just want to point that out.
Loosely.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, they're in the
different
same
regions
universe.
in the same
yeah, different
universe.
regions, but yeah, they are.
There's years between them. Like they don't overlap. Like pretty much they don't overlap, but there is different.
So
like,
shit,
do I need
to finish Oblivion and find out what
no,
I'm doing
you don't
in
need
Skyrim?
to finish any
No,
of
it's
them.
just they are in a shared world.
Yeah, that's fair.
What I'm saying is Elder Scrolls Oblivion is X amount of years difference between Morrowind and et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have the same universe, but it's not like they're connected, but they're not connected at the same time.
Okay.
But
Oh, you
I
know
think
better than me. I haven't beaten an Elder Scrolls game. The furthest I got was Oblivion. So
Because
Have you ever played Skyrim?
in Morrowind in
a little bit.
in Oblivion, the whole point of Oblivion is to shut the Oblivion gates. And if you read games after that, they actually talk about the time that happened. Like it's in the books. It's in like the history books in those games.
Mm.
Well,
Gotcha.
I think the overall point though is that like people have to make a clear difference between a single player game and a multiplayer game that relies on having the most players playing as possible. So that's Minecraft, that's Call of Duty. You cannot equate that to Starfield. So people gotta stop asking those questions. They are not the same thing.
What it is they're just trying to get clicks on their website. That's all it is. They're trying to get not necessarily trick Phil Spencer, but they're trying to get him to slip up in his wording so they can make 1,000 articles about it.
Yeah. I know. We hang on to his every word. We all know that. It is what it is.
General MLD, you know what I mean? Because we still got a lot to talk about. I do want to talk about this though. So the CMA invited the public to
Here we go.
write their feedback on their Microsoft Activision deal. So they did this after freaking Microsoft fact check after Microsoft fact checked the ass to oblivion, then they called on to the public.
Right.
So
The 33rd page.
General did a dissertation on that.
Well, shout out to Iron Lords podcast, because when Iron Lords Gaming, one of the authors, did one as well. It's available on ironlords.net. To read.
Smooth, you ain't do one?
Lord, my bad. Lordsofgaming.net. My bad.
Smooth, you the only one ain't do one?
No, I'm not doing one. Dude.
Oh,
as much as I want to see
the last thing Smooth needs. You know how much heat Smooth would get if he did that.
I don't care. I'm gonna get the heat anyway, but it's like I get. It's just that I don't really have the energy to do that. It's just like,
oh my God.
I mean, I want to see it get done, but like, nah, man. Nah,
yeah,
it's just
I got to explain myself here now.
Yeah, I really want to. So we're gonna give the floor to General, because I want to explain this. It's like, just give me the rundown of what made you make that decision that, hey, you know what, you're gonna submit your input, and what are you hoping to come out of your input?
General, I answered that for you. They fucking asked his opinion. Continue.
Go ahead.
Okay. So before, I always had people had to give me these quote tweets saying that, like, in the past I said it's weird to contact any regulators, but clearly I meant, like, hey, don't spam them for no reason. But in this case, they're actually asking the public here. Now, at first I'm like, I'm not gonna do anything. But then I'm thinking to myself, numerically speaking, there are more PlayStation fanboys on the internet compared to Xbox fanboys. And their inbox is going to be so full of one-sided, like almost illegible garbage emails. And I'm thinking to myself, I mean, if this is somehow in any way like going to be something that they're going to consider, I mean, they got to see at least one Xbox fan's email. I don't know, like you can't just have like 99% of them be like PlayStation fans just saying Xbox bad, Xbox monopoly. So okay, I whipped this thing up in 5 minutes, and I could have kept it to myself. But I'm thinking, yeah, what the hell? I'll make it public. I'll see what comes of it. And yeah, I mean, it got a decent amount of likes. You know, I got a lot of attention. But again, like, for something I whipped up in 5 minutes, I think it was worth the effort. And I wanted to show people that you know, I do believe it will go through. I do think that Xbox is not going to be a monopoly. PlayStation, they're not going to go anywhere. They still got their first party. They still got their third party deals. They'll always find someone to money hat. So they ain't going anywhere, even if this thing goes through. So I just wanted to show that. And wait, sorry?
You just finished what you're saying?
Oh yeah. So yeah, I mean that's really all there is there. So I think people in the end, as many people as people mocked it, I think a lot of people actually, because no one actually debated my rationale. People were just talking about how I sent one in the first place. No one was actually debating my arguments, which in the end is what I think matters most. Like, people who did read it, I think they did like it on some level. Like, it was a little more level-headed. Like, I'm as biased as they come, but even I know that this is only going to make competition better. And I just want people to see that. So, it's no big deal. At least that's what I was thinking anyway.
The crazy part that I get annoyed by this, it's like, look, like, they ask for people's opinions.
Right.
Like, it's just like, first off, we influencers too. So obviously we got to do anything to get a little bit of shine on something. But even besides that, like the influencer aspect, like, this company literally asked for people's opinion. People got an issue when they actually give the opinion.
Yeah, and again, they weren't making fun of me, what I wrote or how I wrote it.
Yeah,
they're making fun of the fact that I wrote it, which to me that doesn't do anything for me. Like, I've been ganged up on since the 360 days. Like, I know what it's like to be just like dogpiled by hundreds of hateful people every week. I never let it get to me then. I don't let it get to me now. So I am who I am. People know my convictions, and yeah, that's it.
I mean, shout out to you for doing so. You know what I mean? I read it. I didn't think it was a bad piece or anything like that. I was just like, hey, well, you got time. Well, I just know who to call when it's time to get, you know, my reference letters, you know. Make sure I hit up General MLG, hit up the dude from lordsofgaming.net, you know what I mean? Because I'm going to need that. But no, but yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious.
And I saw the numbers behind that that post that went up on lordsofgaming.net. Let's just say that these people, for people who say that they're completely against like console war topics, because let's be real, this is like a corporate console war topic that's going on right now. And the crazy part is people sit there, they say all this stuff, they say, you know, we don't care what you say, but them views on that article they said otherwise. So like people care.
Oh, for 100% we care. Both sides care. Both sides are so narratively invested in this because, and at the end of the day, it's all about the clout. It's all about the narratives. Last generation, the PS4 guys, they ran amok. They were kings of the castle, and now there actually could be a chance that the status quo will change. Xbox fans, they're starting to stand up for themselves more. They're starting to get a little more brave in the online debates. And clearly, the tide is changing. And this acquisition, if it goes through, it'll be the start of Sony losing their grip on the industry and the fanboys as well to a degree. And they don't want that. They don't want change. We want change. There's going to be a clash. It will get worse before it gets better. And we will see that in the coming months. I guarantee it. Like when the FTC does their ruling. I think March is the deadline for the CMA Phase 2. That will be a very interesting month to be online for this kind of stuff. So it will get worse before it gets better.
Yeah, at this point, man, I'm just ready for this damn thing to end. This is
amen.
And I feel like Microsoft has moves that they want to do too that they're not being open with because of this damn deal. So it's just like the sooner this deal ends, the better, man.
Yeah, had it not been for the CMAs, I think the deal would have been kind of like solved a lot earlier. So they're already pushing it to March. At the FTC, we find out in a couple weeks, November,
yeah,
and then the EU, theirs is what I feel like around. Don't they have a deadline of like November 8th or something like that?
Yeah, by end of November, we should know both of them.
And at that point, if this is the CMA could kick rocks with sandals and with freaking open toe sandals, bro. Like at this point, like I don't know who they think they are. I don't like people don't like I don't get like what the purpose. Like nobody got time for their BS. Nobody got time for their BS. But
yeah, what I understand is if Xbox had PlayStation's market share and was buying this, I would completely understand their position. But they do not have PlayStation's market share. They're trying to catch up to their market share. So I cannot begin to understand their position. Like they're defending the market leader. I don't know. It's so confusing.
Okay.
A lot more drama with this than the Bethesda deal. So.
Yeah.
So
right. Say that again, Perry.
Oh yeah, I was saying a lot more drama with this deal compared to the Bethesda deal. Not one.
That's because.
Oh yeah, because it's
Bethesda
back-to-back acquisitions. You know, people are starting to get scared now.
Bethesda was a big corporation and it was a big movement in the industry, but it didn't really affect Sony's bottom line that much. They had to just make slight adjustments. Like this affects the bank. That Call of Duty money, they make so much money off Call of Duty. They don't want to risk, and even though that they say that Microsoft is going to let that stay on the PlayStation brand, which I'm pretty sure they are. Sony's mind says like they can't allow that even be a possibility that they might lose it. And even if they don't lose it, if you keep putting Game Pass on Call of Duty on Game Pass, sooner or later you're going to start losing some of the market share of people that generally buy your platform because who wouldn't do that? And they see that happening, and they're like, look, if we could stop it, which I don't think they can. They know they can stop it. I think their mindset's like, let's make enough chaos to where we get Phil, Satya, and everyone in a room, and we come to a compromise that works for everyone. Obviously, it's going to work less for Microsoft, but at this point, I want to hear you guys' mindset. Okay, let's say that all this goes through. And the only way to get it past the CMA is where Call of Duty and stuff like can't go into Game Pass. Do you think Microsoft do you think they still do it? Like
and that's non-negotiable. Like
That's what I'm saying. But why is it that's the only way he gets past in the CMA unless they take that whole corporation to court?
ooh, that's a tough one. Like
I don't know. Like that's a lot of money. They'll lose
that's a
billions
big
of
ask.
dollars if that
That's
don't
a
go
big
through.
ask. Game
Yeah,
Pass
they
for
don't-
one is their whole thing. Like they can't
Because if you remember, they brought up Call of Duty being in Game Pass. They brought that up
Yeah.
specifically.
Yeah, that hurts them, bro, because the problem is it looks like it's for free. And it just like all these Sony dudes say, hey, y'all getting it for free, so they're not making no profit. It looks so good to the consumers that they know they're gonna lose some type of market share. I agree with you on that.
So
That
it's like,
it
I
just
don't
looks
think
too good, bro.
I don't think it's going to get to that point.
Mhm.
But I
Me
wouldn't
either.
be surprised if that conversation
Nah.
might happen, and
Nah.
Microsoft has to make a decision. Like,
Nah, you got Warzone. Look, you get to advertise it at this point. That's the thing with Game Pass. Once a game going Game Pass, you get free reign to market it at this point. like,
Yeah, that's
it's-
true.
it's-
Yeah.
Yo, it's crazy. You know what I mean?
Couple things. We have the Satya Nadella had announced that the Xbox Series S is like obviously the leading platform for Xbox. I think they gave some sort of, I forgot sort of number that they gave. But the thing is that they were pretty much advertising obviously its price, and that is bringing in a lot of gamers, and that's why they make it. This is coming off the heels of, alleged developers wanting the console to have like its mandates drop, which all the mandate is you have to release games for it. If you make it a Series X and Series S has to play the same games. There's at different parodies and whatever they can do, but they have to play this the same games. A lot of these developers coming out. I can't even say a lot of these developers. There's a lot of these like bogus reports, and the developers are actually speaking out. People that make PC games, somebody came out and said that they're trying to get the mandate drop for the Series S version. I'm not sure if we talked about this last week, but this is coming off the heels of the Gotham Knights, which the current the last gen game exclusive to current gen that is limited to limited to 30 FPS, but can't even hold 30 FPS. Which is I wanted to play Gotham Knights so bad, but I am not doing it at the current state it is in. So whenever it gets that proper next gen update, that 60 FPS update, I'll probably revisit it. Also, we got A Plague's Tale Requiem, which is at 30 FPS, and is actually the two best places to play Plague's Tale Requiem at 30 FPS or 40 FPS is the Xbox Series consoles. According to recent analysts, and the best, experience for Gotham Knights at 30 FPS is surprisingly is the Xbox Series S. But not sure how, but it's the one that's the most stable at 30 FPS. Everybody knows my argument. Series S isn't holding anything back. We just seen how beautiful Resident Evil 4 looks, and that's coming out for the PlayStation 4. And nobody had nothing to say about being held back. People look how good God of War looks. We also know that's a straight PS4 game. But nobody's really, talking when they see God of War Ragnarok, they're not talking about how it's being held back by the PS4, the PS4 Pro. They're talking about, I can't wait to play this on the PS5 and stuff like that. So it's just like the energy is not being kept all around with this, like being held back stuff. You had games like Returnal, which looked like a glorified PS4 Pro game, had nothing holding it back, and it didn't do anything special in terms of from a technical standpoint. You have Ratchet and Clank, which looks good, great ray tracing, but at the end of the day, it doesn't look like a PlayStation 5 only game and whatnot. But I'm not here to really to criticize.
I'd heavily disagree with that.
You think all right? So at that
Ratchet
point,
and Clank was Ratchet and Clank one of the best looking game over last year.
I think Ratchet.
Yeah,
I think Ratchet and Clank looks good.
That
But
was, I mean,
silly,
like,
bro.
I don't think
you
it
can
looks
say all
that
you
much
want
better
about it,
than.
but that was like, that was
silly
a
as a
fucking-
motherfucker, bro.
No. I agree that it's the best looking. But the thing is, just because
One of
to
the
me, just
best
because it's the
looking
best, one of the best looking games last year, I don't think it looks that much better than the average video game, though.
Right,
You know what I mean?
that's
That's
what
the
I'm
thing.
saying.
So it's like, yeah, it
we
looks great.
got-
Now, me saying that doesn't mean I'm not saying I wouldn't tell you that Ratchet and Clank looks bad. I don't think Ratchet and Clank looks bad at all. I just don't
Nah,
think
I don't
it's like it's like, oh my god, this is what I expect from these next generation consoles.
We
No.
seen
I mean,
better
I
in
guess I had a
2014,
different experience with
15.
Ratchet than you. 'cause
That's
I was
all
like,
I'm
damn.
saying.
I was like, this is how every game needs to be on. Like, I
I'm
was like,
the
this is
one
the
that
gold
told y'all
standard.
that shit was mediocre, like for real. Like
Nick,
that
you
whole
think
series.
everything's mediocre? I don't
No, that series is mediocre though. But anyway, the
Logan,
developer is mediocre.
Logan,
so,
I'm gonna need your takeover. I gotta run to the restroom.
Right.
All right.
Well, how you gonna, I don't even remember when you were on some tangent. I don't even know what.
I was just passing the torch to another topic.
No, what he was
What was
saying
the other
basically.
topic? Hold on.
No, let me.
Go ahead.
Hold on. What he was saying was they were saying that the Series S was holding games back.
It's not.
Yeah,
That thing is totally scalable. Like you've seen Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is on Series S. It looks okay. Like people know what they're getting into with this. They know it's a budget console. There's no lie. When they sell the Series S, people know it has less specs than the Series X. So like you know exactly what you're getting into. It plays the same games. You see it does what? 60 frames with Cyberpunk? Like it's the you can clearly get the most out of it if you put in the effort. Like complain that it's not fair or it's not easy. Like it can be done, and we all know that. At the end of the day,
I think WB Montreal just wanted to come up with an excuse.
Yes,
because they already delayed Gotham Knights. Was it once already? They'll play under the punch, whatever you want to call it, just to get it out for this October, and then they just knew it was going to be mediocre.
Yeah, like it's like, yo, like this dude that's complaining, like you don't hear no top tier developers complaining about the Series S. That's why I'm looking at everybody running with it like, who's this dude again? Like I just keep asking. They keep talking about, it's so many developers complaining, like who? Like, and then they refer to that guy, they was like it was a simulator, like that and it wasn't even Goat Simulator. Like it wasn't no popular simulator.
The guy,
like,
you're talking about the guys.
It was like sewer hole simulator.
Fish.
Like get out of here, bro. Like I don't know, bro. Like these dudes be tripping sometimes, but they run with it, and I expect them to, because
yeah, they wrong.
My thing I didn't like about the Gotham Knights was their excuse. Their excuse wasn't even that it was a Series S that was holding back. They said it was because they had untethered online co-op, right? And then I asked the question, well, what if I wanted to play it completely in single player? That was my question. What if I didn't want to play an untethered co-op? I should be able to have a damn option that puts that game 60 FPS. That's my theory. If that is the developer's reason, right? That is them saying this game can't achieve 60 FPS because we have this untethered co-op. If I am playing not in co-op, I should be able to get it.
All right,
you got games that's so graphically demanding on a Series S that's exclusive to next gen consoles that's running at 60 and 120. I don't want to hear nobody crying about they can't get it there. Like that's crazy that we sitting here and like giving these dudes like I don't understand that, but whatever. It's all about the developers, right? We want to make sure they eat. These dudes don't deserve to eat. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I mean?
God damn.
Nah, man. They crying about not getting that game at 60 because of Series S. And you got developers that make games exclusively for the Series consoles, and they can get it there. Like you can't just sit there and just be
What we're gonna say when Starfield is at 30 FPS?
No, we're gonna clown them. We're
Series
gonna clown fucking like what are you talking about, bro?
No, it's rumored to be 30 FPS on both.
And then we gonna clown
Yeah,
Bethesda. Like, what are you talking about?
there's gonna be
do it.
backlash. There's gonna be backlash. But like I will say, I mean,
Yeah, I'm gonna be in on that. Like like that's what I'm saying.
is there an exception, guys, if you feel like the gameplay is slow paced enough that, you know, if it's not a fast paced game, like is it kind of excusable? Like I'm just asking you
I
guys.
don't think Starfield gonna be 30. I don't think it's gonna just be 30.
Yeah,
though.
yeah. I mean, hey, it
Like,
might
that's
be.
crazy
I
to
feel
think that.
like
Like,
games
I don't
that
understand why
are.
people think that.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear.
I feel like games could get like the games that it depends how like so 30 frames. All right, even though I'm always gonna put 60 FPS ahead now that I've got it consistently enough. It's hard going back. A Plague's Tale. I mean, like I said, I can get over it because the game looks good. Gotham Knights, I can't get over because it doesn't look good. And the thing is, I feel like it's all about like speed. So there's games that like if the game speed and the motion and animation can help alleviate, you know, how slow like 30 frames can feel. So I don't know like what it is like. So Starfield, looking at Starfield, when you see it, it does look like I ain't gonna lie, it does like a 30 frames per second. When I was watching that, I didn't see like, all right, this is definitely like a 60 FPS game, right? Like I don't know like what I guess how it is for me, like whether how big of a deal it's gonna be. Like it's gonna suck, but that's why Redfall and any other exclusive I put out before Starfield better it has to be 60 FPS. Like, you know, it has to be 60 FPS for that one to get some sort of a pass. But if I struggle to run, let's say Starfield on my PC at 60 FPS, then it is what it is. That's what pretty much what happened with the Plague Tale with me. I struggled to run it at 60, so I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna just play it on Xbox for all that. if I can't get 60, if I can't get 60 on like the on the PC version without like dumbing down the settings, then there's no point. Because what I was trying to do is just play it at the same settings at Xbox, which is like 1440p, whatever. And I was like, I'm guaranteed to at least get like 60, and then that was not the case. And then I realized you need a 3070 to get 1080p 60 at Ultra. So on a Plague Tale. So
I think all Microsoft first-party games have to be 60 frames no matter what.
Yo,
Smooth,
I'm willing to bet that it's gonna be 60 frames, bro.
I would hope it has a 60 FPS option.
No, I'm telling you, it is.
That
it is.
like
Yeah, you.
I'm just saying, I don't know why y'all think it's not. Like, I don't get
it's
this.
because Todd Howard is a fan of 30 FPS. That's the thing.
Oh, what game?
So he may
What
not
game is
prioritize
on Starfield. He already said it.
Because you got to think about it. All his games, right? Like when it came to making their game higher frame rates, right? That was all the mods that did that shit. And in this remaster that Fallout that they're about to do, or the next gen update, is really pretty much the stuff that they probably learned from the mods, and they're just going to enable you know, with a fresh new code of
launch, you think it's going to be 30 frames?
I think what's going to happen, I think they're going to have two options. I think it's going to have 30 FPS, 4K, and like and they're probably going to have like a 60 FPS option. I think it would be. I think that's what they should do. So far, every game that's released out in released for Xbox and the Xbox Series era, even though, you know, majority have been cross-gen, they had multiple options, with the exception of Flight Sim, which is it's a 30 FPS game unless you're running 120 hertz. Then you can get, or VRR, you can get spikes up to like maybe 50 something, but it's not guaranteed.
What about Deathloop?
Deathloop is 60.
Okay, so there is hope, you know.
Yeah, Deathloop has 3 modes: 30, 60, and 120.
Okay, so there's that.
But Deathloop is made by Arcane. They get help from like id, Bethesda. So, like, it's different. Like, you would think, if they call up id or Machine Games, so Todd is working with Machine Games on Indiana Jones, you would think, hey, give us some pointers on how to get this to 60 FPS or better. Then I would hope they're using those resources. They have a ton of them. They have two of the two developers that specialize in high frame rate gaming. They have id and Machine Games. They specialize in high frame rate gaming. They really have no excuse of not to. If you can achieve it, why not?
Yeah, as long as they do it for Series X. I mean, if they can only do it 30 for Series S, I mean, I'll take that. It is what it is. But as long as Series X can have the option, I think the backlash will be minimal.
Yeah, it depends on the load because despite the differences, the Series S and the Series X essentially have the same CPU at like the same speeds and everything. So that's like, so the thing is, so CPU wise, the Series S isn't holding anything back. That's why Series S could get a lot of these games at the high frame rate. And then if you guys think about it, a lot of those games that launched, right? Remember when some of these games was coming in hot in 2020 and 2021 where the Series S was limited at 30 frames per second? All those games have since been updated to 60 FPS on Series S right now. So like, I don't know if you remember MLD where like certain games would come out and it would just have like only be 30 FPS on the Series S. A lot of those games have already been like updated and fixed, even from Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk's already 60 FPS on it. Like the Assassin's Creed games, was it Dying Light? I think initially launched at like 30 FPS on the Series S. So yeah, they're all 60 FPS now. Like no issue.
The tools came in. The tools finally arrived.
So yeah, it really depends. But what I wish that these developers start utilizing is there's too many resources, performance saving resources in these games for these developers not to be using, and like FSR, VRS, all this stuff that where you can cheat to get your little 4K visuals, but the purpose is to maintain high frame rates. Utilize it. A lot of these developers not utilizing it. Like there's a lot of stuff that's in the PlayStation, a lot of stuff that's in the Xbox Series consoles that's not being utilized. There's no way a game that looks like Gotham Knights should be 30 FPS and struggling at 30 FPS on any platform. You know what I mean? I can understand if this was like 2013 Xbox One or some shit in PS4, but like, dude, not on like these RDNA 2 like consoles like that. No way that these things should be showing. And then with the bullshit ray tracing they got, like it's not even like it's like a full-fledged ray tracing. It's like literally like sometimes ray tracing. Sometimes I ray trace at this angle, sometimes I don't. Like it's just inexcusable.
Are the same developers doing the Suicide Squad game?
No, Rocksteady is, but that one person that called the Xbox Series S a potato, he's worked for Rocksteady. There's a chance that game is 30 FPS because he was one of the first developers to defend the Montreal studio that's doing this game that did the Gotham Knights.
Yeah, WB Montreal. Yep.
Yeah. So, and he's working on the bigger game. So that's a telling sign.
Yeah, you can tell though this Gotham Knights wasn't properly optimized. I mean, I've seen comparisons to Arkham Knight on Xbox One, and the city looks a lot more believable and more lived in compared to the recent game. Oh, is it just me? Like I feel like it's night and day.
How much you guys want to bet that after the sales of Gotham Knights and the reviews things are going to be that they're going to be like, oh, okay, even if this game does run in that fidelity, they'll be like, oh, we need someone to fix that.
Yeah,
they were like Suicide Squad cannot come out like that.
Yeah, man. That's the thing. And remember this game. And I know, never mind. I don't want to compare it, but like Guardians of the Galaxy. It had obviously its 30 frames per second mode was gorgeous. But I played it in 60. It worked well. It was 1080p, but they did a damn good job with it. But I understand it didn't have the same constraints. It's not open world. It's not multiplayer, but I've seen multiplayer games like look a lot better than that and still hit their frame rate target. It's just crazy. I don't know, it's just hard to believe. But like, I mean, that's all I really got to say on that topic. Are we what else? Is there anything we're missing? I feel like I'm underselling this week.
I mean, it's been a pretty dull week, to be honest.
Yeah.
They just announced the Witcher remake.
The Witcher 1, right?
Yeah, The Witcher 1, which originally released in 2007 only on PC. You can't play it anymore.
You can't. So that's actually a reasonable remake.
Yeah.
That's
That makes
Are you
sense.
saying,
that's-
Horizon Zero Dawn? Is it?
A little more questionable.
yeah. I mean, The Witcher 1 came out 10 years earlier than Horizon Zero Dawn. So yeah, it's Horizon Zero Dawn is not needed for a remake. But yeah, now I think about it, yeah, you could only play. Yeah, nobody has played Witcher 1, and then Witcher 2 could probably use a remake too, because you could only play that. Well, with the exception of if you're on Xbox, you know, obviously Xbox 360,
You got the backwards.
and then you got backwards compatibility. So, but that was only on Xbox and on PC. Rumor has it that PlayStation went to acquire CD Projekt Red multiple times, and I guess they're declined. But that if that was to happen, I mean that would have been a nice counter to all the Western RPG studios that Xbox already has on deck.
You know what's funny? You
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
have some balls to tell Sony no after what just happened with The Witcher. Like,
Oh yeah,
He
because you know what? Sony pulled it from the CD. They pulled Cyberpunk from their own store. I bet they didn't like that.
Yeah, no, that caused them some sales. So
they probably didn't make they probably weren't offering enough money for them to do it either.
Oh yeah, because if they did it, like if they jumped on it when the game launched and it was tanking so hard and the PR was terrible, maybe that was their best opportunity. But now the game like bounced back and then some. So they gotta pay a lot more.
you know, for Xbox, you know, everybody accusing Xbox of doing like a monopoly, right? On if they buy Activision, but if they, let's say they did get Activision, right, and they somehow finagled CD Projekt Red and BioWare, they'll have a complete monopoly on Western RPG studios.
Yeah, they already do. Like it's crazy. You got Obsidian, In Exile, Bethesda. It's oh my god.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? They're in a position currently, right? To like, and I don't know what they have in the work, but they're in a situation where literally each of their studios, Obsidian, Bethesda, and Exile, could release a major RPG year after year after year between them. Like, all right, 1 year this is Bethesda with Starfield. The next year is Obsidian with Ava. The year after that is In Exile with their steampunk RPG.
And that's
You know
one
what I mean?
team.
And and then by the time that's over, then you could bring in Elder Scrolls. Like that's
Outer Worlds 2 as well.
and then Outer Worlds. So they're in pretty good shape.
The rotation that Call of Duty does with their studios, you can do it with RPGs.
Say that again.
Like the rotation that Call of Duty does.
They literally could. Yeah, you're right. I just got that. They really can do that. And Xbox, and I hope Bethesda do this for the sake of Bethesda fans, right? Instead of it taking Todd Howard 20 years to push out these games, Xbox has all the studios that has ever worked on a Fallout game, right? So you push those out, all right? Like you get, the New Vegas, you get the Fallout remasters, you guys get the new Fallout like game, like you know what I mean, like to push them out quickly, like because at least not quickly, but quick enough. That they should do, because that's too much talent, you know what I mean, to have, and too many IPs not to, utilize those things. But shout out to Bethesda for announcing the Fallout 4 current gen versions, and then well, hopefully everybody obviously wants them to do a New Vegas, but I think that's one game that actually could use a remake. I try to play New Vegas every now and then. It's just it's just not a good looking game, man.
Rough
It's
around the
hard.
edges.
You start off,
Rough around the
you start off
edges.
as a baby, bro. Like,
Yeah,
I'm like,
which is cool. Like I enjoy the story, but it's just hard to play at that fidelity. It's 60 FPS, but like, damn, I need it. If they could up res that bad boy at least. But I mean, I would be. And then the color palette. For some reason, I don't know what the 360 games in like between like 2000 like
grayish.
There's gray, brown, and gray,
dude.
brown, black, and
Right. Yeah, that color palette is just like, ugh, like that's real ashy. Like they really like it could use definitely like it could use a remake, and I'm pretty sure they could do it, man. They got like the manpower, man. Addict, man, I need your help with this one. We know Halo has their winter update coming November 8th. Is there anything you can tell me? Are they gonna surprise us
Isn't it just the co-op stuff coming to it?
Yeah, it's
The
co-op.
co-op with another
Forge
map,
beta.
It's Forge beta,
Yeah.
and
stuff we should have had last year. Just
yeah,
pretty much
fair enough.
Pretty much.
after a year delay. One
And
more
the thing
map.
is, I haven't stopped playing Halo Infinite. That's the thing.
I
So
don't know. I
still-
stopped after Go ahead.
No, I mean I still play it. It's just that but the thing is that the difference about I'm not a seasoned gamer. I'm not a season pass gamer when it comes to these, and that's why I can't. That's why I can't stick with like the Call of Duty stuff. But Halo, because it's my favorite shooter, I can play it because I know how to play Halo. I just jump in, but I don't play for the season objective, and that's why I guess I don't have an issue playing it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not a Fortnite player, so like, when you were playing these games for the seasons and you're trying to get all the season objective, like I tried that during the launch of Halo, and I got through the season pass and the first season. And I was like, okay, but after that, I got through. It's like, all right, now I'm just gonna play, and I just play it like how I always played Halo. The only thing I want now is it's just more maps, and I wanted a reason, an excuse to go back to that amazing campaign. So that's why I'm looking forward to the co-op, because I want to be able to play it with the Addict on a higher difficulty, or with Black Bond or somebody on a higher difficulty. I was surprised I was able to beat it, dolo on heroic. That's usually not the case, but that was an amazing campaign. I want to beat it. I want to go through it again. I have fun with that campaign. It's like Halo. It's so weird because Halo it gets all this bad press because how multiplayer and everything is going. Even though it's a great multiplayer, it's just more so how it's being levied is being levied poorly. But I thought it had a great campaign, and I thought it had a fun, solid multiplayer. They have everything right in place. If they were just on point, like how the Fortnites and the Apex are, this conversation wouldn't be taking place. But I'm a different type of gamer, so that's why I guess that season stuff don't really bother me. But I do miss classic Halo in terms of launching with a whole bunch of maps, having Forge there already, and then the rotation of modes and stuff just being there. You don't have to worry about this season bullshit. But so hopefully they get together. Hopefully those numbers go up, when this winter update drops. Hopefully they do a better job advertising, promoting, and just trying to get people back on. I have faith that Halo Infinite will get itself together. Other games have managed to do it. We see, what happened, and people don't like me using this example, but we've seen what happened with Cyberpunk. We've seen what happened with Rainbow Six Siege, and we're seeing a resurgence of Battlefield. So
might get revitalized once they bring out season 2 of the TV show.
They need to obliterate that TV show and make it more relatable to the game. I don't want to see Master Chief's ass or his face.
I was like, I think the Halo show has done more harm.
It's like I don't know why they did that.
I might bring the people in though, but yeah.
I'm a lore fan. I actually read the books and everything, and that show is so garbage for someone like me. That show has no right to exist.
The problem is the people it would have, gauged interest. I don't think they're gamers.
They're not. None.
It would have benefited so much from positive word of mouth if it was lore accurate.
And it was exclusive to Paramount Plus.
Yeah, but
maybe if it would have been something on I don't know, something that more people have,
like Netflix.
Netflix or just that's where Cyberpunk came out with that Netflix series that I haven't gotten to watch it yet, but all I've heard is that it's a super good anime that a lot of anybody should watch. But Netflix has a lot more subscribers than fucking Paramount Plus.
Yeah, and there's nothing on Paramount. Nothing. I've subscribed to that. And I'm still paying.
That's
for
why
it.
I was like,
why.
I was like, I didn't want to subscribe to another fucking service just to watch Halo.
Yeah, but at least see Witcher on Netflix and Cyberpunk. I think because it's faithful to the stories that it's based on. And that's why you're getting such positive reinforcement from that. People, Paramount was saying how Halo was so positively, it was watched by X amount of people. I watched it. Doesn't mean I liked it. Yeah. I use my word of mouth to negatively influence it.
The last 3 or 4 episodes was okay, and it started turning around a little bit, but It was just like by then the damage was done.
Yeah.
Like at that point, it wasn't necessarily the show's getting better. It's just, oh god, at least there's something decent about the show. It's just like, I don't necessarily agree on the Paramount thing. Like, if you make a good TV show, people will go. It don't matter where it is. The problem is they made an okay TV show and a bad Halo movie show.
Yeah,
and it's sad because they had something, and I blame Microsoft for that.
I wish it wasn't. I
believe-
wish it wasn't based on Master Chief. I wish it was based off other Spartans where they can do that bullshit. You know
I
what
mean, I would watch a show based on the Reach group.
yeah.
Like, that'd be
Then they
pretty
could
dope.
do that. They could take off Buck's mask and everything, and it'd be fine. Like, you know what I mean? That it would have been.
They
It would
should
have
have
been
did it on
absolutely fine.
Anders.
Yeah, that's the other thing that turned me off. I didn't like that they gave Master Chief a face.
Yeah.
Like I liked him being
Albert G, no one is
faceless character.
sugarcoating the show. We've been doing nothing but shit talking. Like,
What? Who sugarcoated the show?
No
in
one.
this panel right now.
No one now. No one here.
And Skull.
You're listening to the wrong show.
I'm a big Halo fan, and you got no love for me here.
And
Albert ain't listening. He's just commenting. That's all he's doing.
And Sculptor Race K, he says, "Smooth, do you give PlayStation games this much leeway?" No, I don't play PlayStation games that much to have a leeway. I play only good PlayStation games. That's all.
Okay, hold on. Albert G, why don't you put in there how I'm sugarcoating the show? I said it was horrible Halo show, and it was okay TV show, but is that what you're talking about, me sugarcoating the show? You know what's crazy? You say anything positive about something, about anything that they don't like, it's an issue. It's like, look, if you take the Halo name off of that, and you're just watching a show, wouldn't have got as many eyes, but it would have been an okay show for the most part. It's the fact that it what's what I'm looking for? It spit and Halo lore is what made it a bad show to me.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't help but watch it and just think about all the ways it was just wrong. Like it's just instinct. You can't even you try not to think about it, but it just happens when you know what the story is, and it just goes in another direction.
Oh my god!
What the fuck?
You can't help it.
Top timing this dude out. Fuck you, dude.
What do you say?
You don't have to time him out. He just fucking
Hey, time out. I'm using my mod powers. I'm calling it.
He's
Fucking
oh,
dumbass.
wow. Oh man. All right. With that being said, let's get ready to close the show. I want to give a big thank you to General MLD for coming through. Also Troy Perry Gamer, thank you for coming through straight out of Australia. So, anytime you want to come through, just jump right on in. You got anything going on? Anything you want to say before we close out the show, Troy, and then General?
Yep. Basically, just thanks for having me on. I've always wanted to be on. I haven't really done much content recently. You might have seen me within the community back in the day as Game Pass Perry.
Game Pass Perry. Yes.
Yes. But I ended up changing that name because that name was given to me by a famous Nintendo YouTuber that I've had a falling out with. So I decided to change that. But yeah, you can see me on Twitch and YouTube under the same name. So yeah, thanks for having me.
Awesome.
I like the Troy Perry gamer name better than Game Pass.
Game
Perry.
Pass Perry. I like the Game Pass.
I don't like when people
attach
like this is
platforms to their name. My bad.
Yeah, this is my take. I don't like when people have their whole entire identity to a platform.
Yeah.
Like I just think it's weird.
I mean that fair enough. You know what I mean? That's fair. That's why.
I'm not saying like if you're an Xbox fan or whatever. I'm saying like their whole entire online identity is a piece of plastic. I think that's weird. I think when people do that, that's weird.
You mean the X spot is the best spot?
But that's not my. That's it's a slogan, and it's also like an AKA. It's not my regular.
You don't see like. Yeah, you don't have like it's not like Xbox or Xbot Smooth. You know, it's just Kid Smooth. Like that stuff. Like your persona's not engulfed into a piece of plastic. I don't know. But maybe that's because I also have been on this podcast for 2 years, so I know you a little bit better. So.
Yeah. No, I completely understand. General MLD, man, what you got going on?
Oh yeah, well, yeah. Thanks for having me. It was actually a lot of fun here. The panel was great to talk to. A lot of good energy. Anyone listening on Twitter, you guys can find me at MLD Ghost. And yeah, it was a great show. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, anytime. You're always welcome. Gaming Addict. I know you had a podcast earlier today with you and Dirk Griggity. It's the Addict Show. It was a good episode. You got anything else going on? Anything coming up?
Nothing that I'm allowed to say, unfortunately. But you can find me on Twitter at Lord Addict ILP. You can find me on YouTube at Gaming Addict. I've been posting a little bit more general gaming topics there than normal, and I've actually really been enjoying it. So definitely check that out. Appreciate the conversation.
Awesome. And Logan, man, what you got going on? I know you. This is like a good time of year for you, so.
Yeah, dude, I'm just pumped to play a shit ton of games between now and like April. Man, I got my stuff absolutely like I'm stacked with games. I got Modern Warfare 2 this weekend, and I'm just gonna be on that. And then literally a week from after 2 weeks from now, God of War Ragnarok drops, and I got 2 days of vacation Modern Warfare 2 and 3 days of vacation in for God of War Ragnarok. I'm life the hell out of both those games. But then like it's just nonstop. Like if anybody is out there saying that like at least from now till I could see at least March is saying that there's like nothing coming out, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about, because you got Final Fantasy Crisis Core, Final Fantasy 7, you got Callisto Protocol coming, you got fucking High on Life coming out, you got Dead Space remake, Resident Evil 4 remake, Silent Hill apparently I heard is getting close to being complete. So like Silent Hill 2, yeah, they're in like final production of Silent Hill 2. So I'm like expecting that within at least the next 6 months. I say if they're in final production, and just dude, it's just a astronomical amount of games that's coming out here. So like there's something, and then not even like the smaller titles. So like Gungrave's coming out, that Evil West is coming out. I mean, there's just a shit ton of games. So if somebody out there is saying that they can't find something to play, I don't know. There's everything's coming out. Yeah. Of course, the leaves have fallen, so it's time for me to hibernate. Like this time of year is when I really pick up
the gaming, right?
Yeah. It's gonna be game until I'm gonna have to do it again. Stay in timeout, Albert.
Yeah. Oh no, Albert G is actually pretty good though. He's oh man. NickBanks, man. What you got going on, man? I be inviting you to parties. You should be ignoring them. Like I don't know what the heck going on. But... And he ignoring the shout out. All right.
He asleep. He is
asleep, bro. He's
sleeping.
Oh man.
Sleepy Nick.
All right. So shout out to everybody who came through. Thank you to everyone who showed up. Hit the like button, hit the share button. We'll see you guys next week. I'm gonna try to get through this Persona 5. I'll keep you guys updated on my progress. And yeah. So as always, guys, Xbox is the best box. I am the best bot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. We are out of here. Peace.
You actually did the outro this time.
Did I do the glow part? All right, cool.